The late afternoon sun dipped low behind the trees as the man drove up the gravel road toward his small wooden cabin. The day had been long, filled with work, but he felt at peace knowing he was coming back to his own land, his own quiet space far away from the noise of the city. The air smelled of pine and fresh dirt. The sound of birds echoed faintly from the forest, and everything looked exactly as it should have, until he reached the cabin porch. His steps slowed the moment he saw it. Taped to the door was a thick envelope, the kind that instantly carried bad news. He frowned, pulling it free and staring at the bold black letters across the top. HOA. His brow tightened. He tore it open right there on the porch, his boots crunching against the wood as he leaned forward, unfolding the papers inside. His eyes scanned line after line of typed accusations, each one worse than the last. Violations. Unauthorized construction. Non-compliance with landscaping. Improper fencing. Trash left visible. Every charge was listed like crimes, though he knew each one was nonsense. And then, at the bottom of the letter, came the number that made his fingers tighten on the paper. $150,000. The fine stared back at him in bold print, like a threat carved into stone. His hands shook slightly as he read it, not from fear but from the absurdity of it all, the sheer arrogance of the people who had sent this. He whispered under his breath, almost laughing, because the thought that anyone could demand such a sum for something so small was beyond ridiculous. A shadow moved across the road, and he turned his head to see neighbors standing quietly in their yards, their eyes fixed on him, their voices hushed in whispers. They had already seen the envelope. News in the neighborhood always spread faster than fire. Some looked at him with pity, others with fear, because everyone knew what it meant when the HOA decided to target someone. They did not stop with one letter. They buried you in paperwork, in threats, in fines so large they could crush a family. People had lost homes over smaller amounts. People had left the community, forced out by endless pressure. And now the HOA had chosen him as their next victim. The man folded the paper slowly, his movements calm, almost too calm for the weight of what he held. He tucked it back into the envelope and stood there for a moment in silence, the air around him heavy, the neighbors holding their breath as if waiting for him to shout, to panic, to crumble under the pressure. But instead, he simply nodded once, his face unreadable, and turned toward his door. Behind him, whispers grew louder, neighbors murmuring questions to one another. "What will he do?" one asked. "No one can fight that," another whispered. 150,000. They'll take everything. Karen, the loudest voice of the HOA, stood across the street with her arms folded, her sharp eyes locked on him. She smirked as if she had already won, as if the fine was not just money but proof of her control. She muttered to the people beside her that rules were rules, that violators had to pay, that the man thought he was above the HOA but would learn like everyone else. Her words carried easily in the quiet evening, and though he heard them, he gave no reaction. He only unlocked his door, stepped inside, and let it close behind him. But his calmness did not soothe the neighbors. It unsettled them, for they had seen men break down before, seen families argue in the yard, seen people cry as they packed their belongings after the HOA crushed them. But this man's stillness was something else, something they couldn't place. His face had not twisted in fear. His shoulders had not slumped. His hands had not torn the letter in rage. He was calm, too calm, and that calmness sent a strange chill across the street. Karen narrowed her eyes, watching his windows, muttering again that he would not last, that nobody could fight such a number. But in her chest, hidden beneath her arrogance, a sliver of unease crept in. For there was something in his silence that felt less like defeat and more like waiting, like a man who already knew something nobody else did. Inside his cabin, the man placed the envelope carefully on the table, his eyes lingering on the number at the bottom of the page. 150,000. He whispered the figure softly, shaking his head at the absurdity. Then, slowly, he smiled. Not a smile of joy, but a smile of someone who saw through the game, someone who knew that the paper in his hands had no real power over him. He walked to the window and looked out across the neighborhood. The houses stood in neat rows, their lights flickering on as dusk settled. He could see the faces in the windows, the eyes peering at him, the judgment, the whispers. He could see Karen on her porch, her face lit by smug confidence, her body stiff with self-importance. And he whispered to himself words only he could hear. They don't know yet, but they will. His calmness was not weakness. It was certainty. Certainty that the letter in his hands, no matter how official it looked, no matter how large the number printed on it, could not touch him. The neighbors outside could not understand it yet, and Karen, standing smugly across the street, could not even imagine it. But the truth rested in his hands, in documents far stronger than the flimsy accusations she had sent. The real owner of this land, of all this ground, was not the HOA. It was him. And though tonight the neighborhood only saw a man facing a crushing fine, soon they would see the truth, and when they did, the looks on their faces would be worth far more than any number printed on a page. The next morning the man stepped out of his cabin to the sound of crunching gravel, and there she was, Karen, marching up his driveway with the confidence of someone who thought the entire world bent to her will. Her clipboard was clutched tight in one hand, a stack of papers flapping against it in the breeze, her other hand waving dramatically as she pointed at his cabin, his yard, and finally at him. Her voice carried loud and sharp, slicing through the quiet like a blade, calling him a violator, a rule-breaker, a disgrace to the neighborhood. She read off the list as though it were a holy scripture, her tone heavy with authority she believed was unshakable. Unauthorized modifications, she shouted. Failure to submit HOA approval forms, multiple infractions, and now a fine of $150,000. Her eyes gleamed with cruel satisfaction as she said the number again, louder this time, making sure the neighbors peeking from their windows could hear. And if you don't pay, we'll take your property, we'll drag you into court, we'll make an example out of you. She planted herself at the edge of his porch, staring him down with that smug look she wore like armor, the look that for years had made neighbors cower and bow their heads. But this man did not bow. He stood there silently, his face calm, his posture steady, his eyes locked on hers without a single flinch. His silence made her falter for a brief second, but she recovered quickly, raising her chin higher, her voice sharper as she pressed on. You think you're above the HOA? You think you don't have to follow the rules? We've crushed bigger violators than you. If you don't pay, the liens will bury you. The lawyers will tear you apart. Your land will be taken, and you'll be gone. Her words rang out across the street, drawing more neighbors to their porches and windows. Whispers spread quickly, some gasping at the threat, others shaking their heads at the audacity. They had seen Karen pull this act many times before, but never with such boldness, never with such a staggering fine. Some pitied the man, believing he had no chance. Others simply waited, curious to see how long he would last before the HOA broke him. Yet even as the whispers swirled and Karen's voice cut sharper, the man remained silent, his calm expression unbroken. He didn't argue, didn't raise his voice, didn't try to defend himself. Instead, he let her words echo, let her arrogance fill the air until even the neighbors grew uncomfortable at the imbalance. And still he stood there, like a stone unmoved by the wind. Karen grew frustrated at his stillness, mistaking it for fear. She smirked again, stepping closer, lowering her voice so only he could hear. Pay the fine or lose everything, she hissed, her eyes glittering with triumph. This land doesn't belong to you. It belongs to us. For a moment the man's lips curled ever so slightly, not into a smile of joy but into something that made her step back unconsciously, a flicker of unease darting through her chest before she buried it under more arrogance. She spun on her heel, raising her voice again so the neighborhood could hear her final words. You have 30 days, she shouted. 30 days before we take what's ours. She stormed down the driveway, her clipboard slapping against her side, her heels digging into the gravel like the stomp of a judge's gavel. The neighbors whispered louder now, their voices a mix of fear and curiosity. He can't fight that, one muttered. 150,000. No one survives that. But behind his steady eyes, the man knew something none of them did. As Karen strutted away, her victory parade short-lived, he turned back to his cabin, his steps measured, his face still calm. And though the neighbors could not understand his silence, and Karen mistook it for defeat, the truth was entirely different. He was not afraid. He was waiting. Days turned into a week, and the letters didn't stop, they multiplied. Every morning when the man stepped outside his cabin, there was another envelope waiting for him, some stuffed into his mailbox, others taped right to his door, and a few even shoved beneath his truck's windshield wipers. Each one carried the same message, written with the same arrogance. Pay the fine, pay now, or face consequences. The amount never shrank. It only grew with new invented violations. One claimed his grass was cut unevenly. Another accused him of storing unapproved materials because of a stack of firewood beside his porch. One outrageous letter even fined him for the color of his front door, though it was the same color it had been when he bought the cabin years ago. The numbers kept adding up, the words harsher, the threats clearer. They spoke of liens, lawsuits, lawyers, and court dates. The HOA board wrote as though they were kings delivering orders, and at the bottom of every page was Karen's sharp signature, her pen pressing so hard it nearly tore through the paper, her pride etched into every curve of her letters. Neighbors watched in silence, their voices hushed but constant. Some pitied him, whispering that he should just pay, though they all knew no one could pay such a number. Others whispered that maybe he should sell before things grew worse, that maybe leaving was the only way out. A few simply shook their heads, convinced he would be crushed just like so many before him who had tried to stand against Karen and her board. Yet through it all, the man never lost his calm. He collected each letter carefully, stacking them neatly on his kitchen table, the pile growing taller each day. He didn't tear them, didn't burn them, didn't scream or panic. Instead, he studied them one by one, his steady eyes taking in every word, his calm hands sliding each sheet into a folder. Sometimes, when the neighbors dared to glance at him through their curtains, they saw him writing quietly at his desk, documents spread before him, his pen moving slowly but with certainty. It unnerved them, because it wasn't the behavior of a man being broken, it was the behavior of a man building something, preparing something, waiting for the right moment. Karen, however, was blind to this. She mistook his silence for fear, his calmness for surrender. Every time she saw him walk past her with that same steady expression, she smirked wider, convinced her threats were cutting deeper, convinced she was close to driving him out. She bragged at HOA meetings, telling the board and the few neighbors who attended that the man was already finished, that soon he would be begging to leave, that she would make an example out of him to remind everyone what happened when rules were ignored. The board laughed with her, comfortable in their arrogance, too blind to see the storm that brewed quietly in the silence of the man's cabin. At night, the neighbors whispered that he was either a fool or a fighter, but none could tell which. They couldn't understand why he hadn't broken yet, why he hadn't pleaded for mercy, why he hadn't slammed the door in anger. He simply carried on with his life, fixing his truck, chopping firewood, walking his land like nothing had changed. But behind that calm mask, every step he took, every paper he filed, every document he prepared was sharpening the blade of truth he planned to reveal. The escalation was meant to crush him, but instead it only built his resolve, only gave him more fuel to use when the moment finally came. And though Karen slept smugly each night, dreaming of the day she would celebrate his ruin, she had no idea that with each letter she sent, with each fine she scribbled across a page, she wasn't tightening a noose around his neck, she was tightening one around her own. Dimbidin guzat gay or hard in kasath hoa letters or threats bart gay. Jays kissy any faucet cold dia ho or poison ka pani rukna ka nam hyene la raha ho. Ha suba jab mad apni cabin ki wooden dawaza kolta tu. Wahanek naya envelope chipka hota, kabi mailbox mine bara hota, kabi windshield pa daba hota or kabi porch ku floor pa uda hua milta. Or ha letter ekne accusation se bara hota, ekne threat se bara hota, or harek mine wohi arrogance. Wohi gamand ku shabdan ka jura hota, violation, unauthorized, non-compliance, or neche lika hota ek or bara figure jo fine mine ad kia jata. Kabi $500 or Kabi $5,000 Jays wo kissy game ka scoreboard update ka rohi ho. Karen ka nam ha leta kaneche's chipka hota Jays wo apnataj hadine kagaz pa laga rahi ho. Uska signature itna tes debaya hota ka kagaz kaneche tak mark chalajata. Jays wo likna kusath hyapn gamand ka nishan pi chipka rahi ho. Ek letter mine lika tha kuuska firewood porch kaside par unapproved material ku under eta high. Dus mine lika tha kuuski grass uneven high or tisa mine lika tha ku front door ka color HOA standard sa match nahi kata. Jabka wohi color cabin kapildin sa tha. Sab jute sab exaggeration. Pa phr pi wo stack hotagaya or unka number bartagaya. J's wo log chart the ku wo paperwork ka nache daba dia j. Neighbors chup chapdekt. Apni kidkion sa jangta or apn garan mine baith kar fuskri kart. Kuch keet kayela dai jeetna namumkin high. Koi HOA ku against kada hok karbi jeet nahi soccer. Kuch keet kayuse garbek dina chehi warna uskis indaji barbard ho jayegi. Or kuch bass surf dekt. Chup rate jays wo kisi execution ka intezar kar rohi ho. Pa sab kudilan minek high bart thigh. Yer banda ab zayada din tak nahi tik paiga. Pa wo mardalag tha. Uskarawaya alag tha. Haleta ko wo kamli uthata. Use fold kata or table parek neat stack mine rakta. Jays wo kisi burden ka wait nahi borki kisi puzzle ku pieces collect kar raha ho. Kabi use tir nahi kata. Kabi jalata nahi. Kabi use ignore nahi kata. Bas carefully unhine ek file mine dalta jata. Or kabi apni lamp light kanache rat pa documents spread kark leakta reta. Uska pen slowly chal raha hota. Uska chera steady hota or uski. Ankan mine wo certainty hoti jo neighbors ko or confuse kar deti. Kianki yer koi dari hu abanda nahi lakta tha. Yer koi harmone hu insan nahi lakta tha. Yer koi apnagar bekni ki sok raha banda nahi lakta tha. Yer banda jays kuch plan kar raha tha. Jays wo ha threat. Ha fine koek weapon banner raha tha joek din wo unyu ku kalafuse kariga. Karen ko yer sab dekai nahi dia. Use surf uski kamoshi dekai di jo uski gamand ko or baha deti thai. Hudden jab wo appen porch pa use dekti to smirk kati or keti ku ab wo dar gaya high. Uski pass koi option nahi bocha. Wo sabka samna declare kati ka use HOA ka power tod kar nickel dina hoga. Or wo proudly apni board meetings mine announce kati ku wo is man koek example banayeji jisi sab neighborhood yad rakiga. Ku HOA ku against koda hone ka anjam kia hota high. Board members uski sath hands deet. Appen coffee cups bajate or keet kahon. Usni haimsha jc kaha ways high kia high. Or abb wo jiteji. Unkai laughter neighborhood ka wall sa takrakar echo kati. Pa wo laughter surf temporary thai kianki unhi samaj nahi tiche kujizin san ko wo daba rohi hain. Wo actually unhine high expose kan ka plan banner raha high. Rat ko jab neighborhood ki lights buj jati. Or log appen beds mine chup kar karen ka bear mine whisper cart. Kabi keet kashayad wo full high jo lad raha high or kabi keet shayad wo fighter high. Pa wo kudpi confuse rate kianki uski calmness kisi ko samaj nahi arti thai. Pa cabin ku andras calmness ku piche x storm tha. Papers ka storm. Proof ka storm. Jo wo patiently collect kar raha tha. Hane letter ku sath wo or strong hotajata. Hane threat ku sath uski eyes or steady hotijati. Or hane smirk ku sath uska plan or clear hotajata. Karen appen garmine baith kar kush thai. Appen victory ku sappen dek rahi thai. Lekin usi yer malum nahi tiche ku ha fine jo wo leakti high. Ha signature jo wo gammon sa dalti high. Wo actually uska apna downfall leak rahi high. Uska apna crown jarain ka paper banner rahi high. Mahine kuen mine HOA aniek emergency meeting balai. Community hall ku anda chairs lagai gay. Stage ku ajek lambai table par HOA board baith gaya. Or center mine Karen apna clipboard leaker queen ki terra by thigh thigh. Uski face par wahi gamandi smirk tha jo haimsha neighborhood ko uneasy kata tha. Or uski piche board ka members baith car surf uski words ko repeat cart. Jzunk pazapni sok high na ho. Hall mine neighborhood ka log chup chap chairs par baith gay. Unkai fuskri abi pi chal rahi thigh. Sabko peta tha ku is rat ka main target womad tha jo ubi tax silent tha. Jisni $150,000 ku fines ka bawajadek pi shabd HOA ku kalaf public mine nahi bola tha. Or sab sok rohi the ku age shayad wo finally toot jiega. Karaneni apna throat clear kia or papers table par patak kara was nakalni ka bad apna speech start kia. Uska tonit na arrogant tha kujays wo kisi courtroom mine judge ho. Usni loudly announce kia kuek homeowner any bar violations kaya. Usni HOA ka rules ko ignore kia. Or AB usbar $150,000 ka fine lag chika high. Or agar wo pay nahi kata to uska property sees kia jayega. Karen ha sentence mine pause kati jays wo chati thai ku uski words logon ku dimag mine goose car unhe impress karine. Log chup by the Santa Rohi. Kuch ku faces worried the or kuch bas apn heads shake kart hu sok rohi the ku yer orit kitney dia ja sakti hai. Karen any chair searth car hall mine walk kana start kia. Pointing at people. Declaring ku HOA ku rules sab par equal hain. Koi p exempt nahi hai. Or jo sokta hai ku wo system sabada hai uska anjam bura hota hai. Ha line kusath wo or loud hoti gei. Or uska gammond or clear dikni lager. Usni finally usmad ka namlia. Uski cabin address announce kia or kaha ku yer in sanek disgrace hai. Usni sab kasamna prove kardia hai ku wo HOA ku lier ek threat hai. Karen ne jab apna hand porch ki tariff wave kia to hall kadaways kule or wo mad calm steps kusath ander aya. Uski entry ne hall ki hawa hai badal di. Usni suit nahi paina tha. Usni flashy capta nahi paina. Bass simple shirt or jeans mine tha. Lekin uska walk steady tha. Uski eyes sharp or calm thigh. Or uski hath my neck thick folder tha. Jo usni apni side kasit par raka or bina ek shabbed bowl quietly board ki tariff dekta raha. Sapki eyes us par kai pak gei. Karen smirk kar rahithai. Loudly ke rahithai ku ab yer apni bart care. AB sab samjenj ku HOA ka power kaisa hota hai. Lekin jo sab notice kar rohi the wo yer tha ku wo banda bilkul pi nervous nahi tha. Uska chera confident tha. Or uski kamoshi ekalag high type ka pressure create kar rahithai. Board members uneasy shift kan lage. Kuch hands table par tap kan lage. Kianki wo calmness unk liya samajna mushkil tha. Karen ne finally usbone kulia provoke kia. Loudly keti hui ku defend yourself if you can. Tell these people why you refuse to follow rules. Tell them why you deserve a $150,000 fine. Uski words sharp the par wo banda surf calmly apni seat se kada hua. Folder uthaya or tier se use table par spread kan lager. Papers ekek kark table par raktagaya. Maps, deeds or documents jo thick seals kusath stamptha. Or room suddenly bilkul silent ho gaya. Sabko feel hua ku ab kuchbada reveal hone walla hai. Karen ne forcibly laugh kia. Loudly ken lagi ka yer sab fake papers hain. Yer sab tricks hain. Paruski own board members be chup hoge jays unhi lag raha tha kuunk samna kuchreal aa gaya hai. Neighbors forward lean kark dekni lage. Phones nickel car record kana shuru kardia. Or whispers holmine goom gay kushayad wo banda surf victim nahi hai. Shayad uski paz kuchesa hai jo por HOA ko hiladega. Or wo calmly sabko dekt hu basek line bowler jo sabko freeze car gay. You think uf hall ku anda ho or ruck gay jays wakt thaha gaya ho. Sab logon ki nazrenas mad ku hath mine raki folder par tik gay thai. Karen ab pi apna smirk dikain ki koshish kar rahi thai. Uski ankan mine wohi gammon tha jo hamesha uski shabdan mine hota tha. Lekin anda hai anda uski dilki datkan tez ho gay thai. Wo loudly ken lagi ku yer sab drama hai. Yer sab papers fake hain. Or koyan san HOA sabada nahi ho sakta. Par uski awes ka wo arrogance ab peel jaisa strong nahi tha. Uski words thode shaky lag rohitha. Mad any calm steps kusath folder cola or ekek kark papers board kasamna raktagaya. Peel property deeds, jismi stamps or government seals chamak rohitha. Fur maps, jo clearly dicate the Kupori neighborhood, Harek Street, Harek House Kaneche jo zamin thai. Wo sabek hai nam par register thai, uski nam par. Board members ki ankan widen ho gei. Unkai fingers freeze ho gei papers kuyupa. Neighbors jo peach baith car chup the ab juka bina ray nahi paye. Wo appen phones uthaka record kanlage. Whispers ho mine goomgay, kia yersak hai? Yer pori land iska hai. Karen ne quickly table par papers ko push khan ki koshish ki jays on he dismiss kana chati ho. Parek officer jo meeting mine officially witness kulia tha usni documents ko uthaya. Seal or stamp ko check kia or calmly announce kia ku yersab bilkal asli hain. Fake hone ka sawal hai nahi hai. Yer sunta hai hall mine ek shocked silence cha gaya. For halki gasp ki awaze. Logon ku chair par disbelief lika tha. Karen ki body stiff ho gei. Uski hont tremble kan lage. Or usni loudly ken ki koshish ki ku yer HOA ki power ko change nahi kata. Yer rules ko change nahi kata. Lekin ab koi uski bat sun nahi raha tha. Sabki nozoros mad pa thai jo ab calmly board ki tarif dek raha tha or uski ankan mine wohi confidence chamak raha tha jo ab tak surf uski chair pa kamoshi ki terra tha. Usni hall mine clear voice ku sath kaha. You find me for violating HOA rules on my land. But this is not your land. It never was. This entire neighborhood sits on my property. Every street, every house, every tree, even this hall you sit in. It all belongs to me. Uski words ek demarka the, J's hall kuanda kisi any bomb blast car dia ho. Or neighbors shock mine ek dusraki tariff dekt rohi. Kuch apn mouths cover karliye. Kuch hansen lage disbelief kusath, or kuch bass freeze hoge. Karen any panic mine for sachalea kuye possible nahi high. Yer surf ek trick high. Par uski apn board members uski tariff dekna avoid car rohi the. Wobi documents chaos and kar rohi the orang chair par guilt or fear lika hua tha. Ab peli bar karen ka smirk pori terrago gaya. Uska chera pale ho gaya. Or usni realize kia kujizin san ko woek example banana charti thai. Wo actually wohi in san tha jo uski se rules or uski gamand koek high second mind destroy car sakta tha. Mard northeast papers ko calmly close kia or apn hearth table paraki. Uska chera abp composed tha. Or usni quietly kaha, you find me for $150,000. But the truth is, you are standing on land that belongs to me. Every cent you tried to take from me means nothing, because in reality, all of this was mine from the start. Yer words sunkaru minek uneasy bus spread hua, or hall kuanda ki hawa badal gayi. Ab power karen ka hearth mine nahi tha. Power ab usmad ku hearth mine tha. Or sabn usko parchan liad in me on my land. But do you even know whose land this really is? Hall kuanda hawa bari hui thai, J's koi invisible weight sab logon ka upaga gaya ho. Or a silence ko surfek she's toti thai, Karen ki shaky voice. Usni desperate tone mine chilaka kaha ka yer sab fake high. Yer papers kisi any photoshop kaya hain. Or HOA ka power UN documents sa kabi katam nahi ho sakta. Lekin uski words mine wo arrogance nahi tha jo peel tha. Uski hont tremble kar rohi the. Uski chair par peli bar uncertainty lika tha. Board ka members ab uski tariff dek pi nahi rohi the. Kuch apn chairs mine lean back kar gay jays wo samaj gay ho ka yer fight katam ho chuki high. Ek officer jo meeting mine witness kalia tha usni calmly announce kia ka documents bilkal asli hain. Unk seals or registrations official hain. Or wo legally prove kart hain kapori neighborhood ki zamin uzi mard ki high. Yer sunta high karen ka chera chalk ki terra saved ho gaya. Uski ankan widen ho gay or usni apna clipboard itni zorsa pakta ku uski knuckles white ho gay. Neighbors jo chup by the unkai whispers ab loud ho gay. Kuch keet she's finished. Kuch keet how could she not know this? Or kuch apn phone so record kart hugh quietly laugh kar rohitha. Jays wo salan ka gussa ab finally bahar nickel raha tha. Karen any apn words recover khan ki koshish ki. Usni chilaka kaha, rules are rules. HOA ku rules land ownership says iada strong hot hain. Yer documents surf ek distraction hain. Pa uski apn words uski kalaf gay. Kianki sab log samish gay kuwo bas panic mine bakwas kara hi hai. Mard ab he calmly bytha tha. Uski ankan mine wo he steady shine thigh. Or usni surf ek line quietly bolai jo Karen kudil ko tod gay. You find me for living on my own land. But you live on mine. Yer sentence hall ku anda demarka tha. Sab log freeze ho gay for ex sath whispers or laughter goom gay. Logon ku faces p disbelief or relief mix ho gaya. Karen any apna clipboard table pa patak dia or uski papers floor pa gay. Woan ko collect khan ka lia nache juki. Paruski hearth shake kar rohi the or wo properly unhi pick p nahi kar pai. Uski dignity jo salan se uski arrogant smirk or loud voice se bani thigh. Wo ab sabka samna tut rahi thigh. Neighbors jo us haimsha data the. Ab openly uski tariff dek kar muscarane lage. Unkai ankan mine wo fear nahi tha. Surf contempt tha. Karen kardi hui, uska face red or pale dono exath tha. Usni loudly declare khan ki koshish ki ku hoa ab pi uski control mine high. Paruski voice crack kar gay or wo sentence complete pi nahi kar pai. Uska collapse ab physical pi dikni laga tha. Wo apn steps unsteady chal rahithai. J's hawky floor uski nache hil rahiho. Neighbors ku phones ku flashes chalni lage. Unhone uski ha reaction record kali. Taka ye moment kabi balaya naja sake. Karen J's high hall se baha nikalni lagi. Logon kabich se ek mocking clap shuru hua jo tir hall mine echo kan laga. Or wo clap ek taunt tha jo uski ego kayupa hammer ki teraga raha tha. Karen any apni speed bahai or hall kadawes ko push kark baha bha gay. Uski footsteps gravel pa echo kart rohi jab wo apnga ki tarif gay. Or neighborhood uski piche surfek shizyad rakiga. HOA ki queen ka crown uzi meeting mine gur gaya tha. Mad any calmly apn papers fold kaya. Folder close kia or ek deep breath li. Uska face abp composed tha. Or usni bass quietly neighborhood ko decked hukaha. Now, it's time for justice. Uski words any or p suspense chod dia. Kianki sabko lag raha tha kuye collapse en nahi tha. Ye bass shuruat thigh hall kuanda ab surfek hai shis baki thigh. Truth jo sabka samna kada tha or wo silence joek final blow ka intezar ka raha tha. Karen pag chuki thigh, uska smirk, uska arrogance, uska so-called power sab dust mine gur gaya tha. Lekin board ab piwahan tha. Uneasily shifting in their chairs. Unk chair pale or guilty the. Jays wo apni kursi seath carb hi apna apko save nahi car pa rohitha. Mard calmly table pa kada hua. Apna folder hearth minu thaya or neighborhood ki tariff face kark bowler. Uski voice clear or strong thigh. For years you've been controlled by fear, by fines, by threats. But today you all saw the truth. HOA doesn't own this land. They never did. I do. Uski words hall kuha kone mine gunj gay. Or neighbors kudil mine ek relief ki liha dord gay. Jazunk kandan pa se ek bari boji utah gaya ho. Kuch log apn seat serth car clap kan lage. Unkai clapping jaldi hayek full applause mine badal gay. Or wo sound Karen kus smirks kus salan ka jawab tha. Board members any finally weak voice mine argue kana try kia. Ken lage ka documents matter nahi kart. HOA ka bylaws ABP enforce hotain. Parusni calmly ek or stack of papers nikala. Official legal notices Joe clearly state kart the kuland lease. HOA ka registration or unkai entire authority uski permission pa depend karti thai. Unhone apni high documents sign ki thai Joe AB unk kalaf kode hoge. Room minek shock ka second wave for sagum gaya. Or board members apn chairs mine dub gay. Jays unka end officially seal ho gaya. Neighbors Joe ubi tak chuptha. Unhone loud cheers kaya. Kuch logon any phones upar athe or videos record key. Or unkai ankan mine wo sparkle tha Joe freedom ki hoti high. Mard any calmly UN documents ko fold kia. Or ek line bolai Joe pure neighborhood kulir ek naya chapter bangay. From today, you answer to me, not to them. And unlike them, I don't believe in ruling with fear. This neighborhood will finally be free. Yeline sunkaru minek cheerfat gaya. Log apn seat seath car clap kan lage. Unk faces pa smiles thigh Joe silence a gayab ho chuki thigh. Or kuch kuankan mine tears tak aage kianki unhone kabi socha pinahi tiche ku hoa ka shadow unk sar seath giega. Board members chup chap hall sanikel. Unk heads down the. Or wo surf whispers or mocking claps sunta rohi Joe unk ha step kasath gumt gay. Karen apngar mine curtains kapiche chupi thigh. Uski phone p non-stop messages or calls aa rohi the. Or harek mine surfek high bart thigh. Uski bezati, usker end. Or wo truth Joe AB ha gar mine viral ho raha tha. Neighborhood kalog baha nikolay, unhonus mard ko surround kia. Kuchlogon any uska hearth shake kia. Kuch any uska shukriya kia. Or sabek hai bart kerohi the ku unkai zindaji AB finally unkai apni hogi. Bakche lawn mine kelni lage bina is dar kukukoi unkai family ko fine beige dega. Or parents openly laugh kar rohi the bina is tension kukukoi hoa unkai kushi tod dega. Mard any surf quietly sabko deka. Uski ankan minek calm pride thigh. Or usni realize kia ka ye fight surf uski lia nahi thigh. Ye sab ka lia thigh, or wo finally jeet gaya. Rat kuend mine, jab hall kali ho gaya or neighborhood apn garan mine relief ka sathwapas gaya. Wo mard apni cabin ki porch pa bytha tha. Ek cup coffee hearth mine or wo he thick folder uski side pa raka tha. Usni apn land ko deka. UN garan ki lights Joe uski zamin pa chamak rahi thigh. Or uski lips parek faint smile a. Wo softly bowler. They tried to take my land. But they never realized, they were living on mine. Uski words hawa kasath gumgay jazek final verdict. Oras rat neighborhood ni salan kabad peli dafa chain kinin soyi. Kyanki justice finally served Hochika Tha.